IsReal News. This is the midday brief for Wednesday, April 8th. Tensions are rising again around the fragile ceasefire in the region. According to reports, Iran has told mediators it will not participate in negotiations in Islamabad and will not reopen the Strait of Hormuz unless there is also a ceasefire in Lebanon. Tehran is warning it could resume attacks on Israel and Gulf states if Israeli strikes continue in Lebanon or inside Iran. Iranian media are also reporting that tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz was halted as a protest against Israeli operations in Lebanon. After the ceasefire announcement this morning, 2 oil tankers were reportedly allowed to pass safely through the strait. A senior Iranian source says Tehran is now reviewing whether to withdraw from the ceasefire agreement altogether. The official accuses Israel of violating the truce through continued strikes in Lebanon and warns Iran's armed forces are already identifying targets for a potential response. The Iranian foreign minister is also reported to have spoken with Pakistan's army chief about what Tehran calls ceasefire violations in both Iran and Lebanon. Meanwhile, Washington is clarifying the scope of the ceasefire. The White House says Lebanon is not part of the agreement. President Donald Trump told PBS that the truce does not apply to Lebanon because of Hezbollah's involvement. In Israel, the Home Front Command says schools will be able to reopen tomorrow across most of the country, with some exceptions in northern areas near the Lebanese border. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel has achieved major military gains but warns additional objectives remain. He says Israel is prepared to return to fighting at any moment if necessary, saying the country will secure its interests either through agreement or renewed combat. Politically, the ceasefire is already sparking criticism inside Israel. Opposition leader Yair Lapid calls the 2-week truce a diplomatic disaster, arguing Israel was not involved in negotiations between the United States and Iran, and accusing the government of misleading the public about the war's results. Elsewhere in the region, Israeli strikes in central Beirut have reportedly killed more than 100 people in one of the deadliest days in the ongoing conflict with Hezbollah. The Israeli military has also confirmed the death of a 20-year-old Golani brigade soldier who was killed during an encounter with armed militants in southern Lebanon. Several other soldiers were wounded in that incident. The military says it also carried out a strike targeting the personal secretary and nephew of Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem in Lebanon. At the same time, Iranian Revolutionary Guard officials warn that if attacks on Lebanon continue, Iran could respond with what they describe as a severe retaliation. And Palestinian sources in Gaza say there are signs Israel could escalate operations there as well, possibly increasing targeted strikes following the pause in fighting with Iran. Those are the latest headlines from IsReal News.